Hello everyone, my name is Marcus G. Welcome to my channel. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Sylvie Brett's exit from Chicago Fire after 10 seasons was met with dissatisfaction by the show's audience, although the conclusion of her narrative was a positive one. Despite the fact that she is moving on to new projects, actress Kilmer has not ruled out the possibility of returning to Chicago Fire for a guest role. The departure of Sylvie Brett will result in the arrival of a new paramedic at Firehouse 51, which may result in a shift in the interpersonal dynamics of subsequent episodes. Sylvie Brett, played by Kilmer, has been an integral component of Firehouse 51 ever since the third season of Chicago Fire began airing in September of 2014. She started out as Gabby Dawson's, Monica Raymond, new partner, and she quickly rose through the ranks to become the most reliable paramedic member of Ambulance 61. Because of this, the news that Sylvie Brett would be leaving Chicago Fire before the conclusion of the show's 12th season was a source of great disappointment for the show's audience. Contrary to the majority of the other shows produced by Wolf Entertainment, the cast of Chicago Fire has remained reasonably stable throughout the course of the show's 12 seasons. The majority of significant departures happen after the program has been on the air for a number of seasons, which provides the viewer with the opportunity to empathize with the character, learn more about them, and limit their loss. When Matt Casey, Jess Spencer, left the show at the beginning of season 10, fans were upset to lose a character who had been a cornerstone in the program's narrative. However, they eventually came to the realization that the show had the potential to take on new stories and characters that would not have been a good match with Matt Casey around. The most recent departure from Chicago Fire will be intriguing to see, since it will be interesting to watch what direction it advances in. When Sylvie Brett came to Firehouse 51 in Season 3, Episode 1, Always, the house was still hurting from the death of Leslie Shea, Lauren German, Gabby's former partner, who had passed away in a building collapse in Season 2, Episode 22, Real Never Waits. As a result, she was not exactly welcomed with open arms. Despite this, Sylvie eventually became one of the most well-liked members of the team over the course of time. At one point in time, she was romantically involved with Joe Cruz, Joe Minoso, and later on, she became close friends and housemates with both Joe Cruz and Brian Otis, Zvansek, Yuri Sardarov. Additionally, she had a good friendship with Randall Mouch McColland, played by Christian Stolte, who assisted her in launching her paramedicine program. This program provided preventative medicine to patients who frequently called 911 in the hopes that they would experience less calls to the emergency number. Additionally, Brett and Mouch collaborated on the writing of a romance novel with a firefighting theme. After the dissolution of her engagement, Sylvie relocated from Fullerton, Indiana, to Chicago, and the process of falling in love during her time on Chicago Fire was a significant part of her story. Following her relationship with Joe Cruz, Sylvie went on to date Antonio Dawson, John Sitta, Gabby's brother who worked for the Intelligence Division in Chicago Police Department, and Kyle Sheffield, Teddy Sears, whom she had met while he was serving as the chaplain for Chicago Fire Department. In Season 8, Episode 1, Sacred Ground, Sylvie and Kyle were engaged for a short period of time. Sylvie even left town with Kyle after Otis' death. However, she eventually came to the realization that the tranquil life they were enjoying in Fullerton was not what she desired, and she moved back to Chicago in Season 8, Episode 3, Badlands. After spending a significant portion of Seasons 8 and 9, Sylvie initiates a romantic relationship with Matt Casey in the 16th episode of Season 9, titled No Survivors. After Matt relocates to Portland in order to provide care for the children of one of his former firemen, the two of them attempt to maintain a long-distance relationship, but ultimately decide to stop it. In the beginning of her time on Chicago Fire, Sylvie informs Brett that she was adopted. In the 13th episode of the 8th season, titled A Chicago Welcome. Brett receives a phone call from her birth mother, Julie, who is expecting a child and wishes to get back in touch with Brett before the baby is born. During the 19th episode of the 8th season, titled Light Things Up, Julie passes away while giving birth. However, Sylvie maintains a relationship with her half-sister, Amelia, as well as Amelia's father. During the 21st episode of the 11th season, titled Never Ever Make a Mistake, Sylvie and her partner, Violet McCamey, arrive at a call where a baby was born while still trapped inside the amniotic sac. During the previous shift, the paramedics made a mistake that caused Violet and Sylvie to lack the equipment that they are required to have, which ultimately led to the infant coming dangerously close to passing away. The case takes its toll on Sylvie, who confesses to Chief Bowden, Eamon Walker, that the mother reminds her of her own mother. Despite the fact that they are successful in getting the infant to Chicago Med, Sylvie is affected by the situation. There were a number of interesting storylines that occurred on the show involving Sylvie Brett. One of these was when her high school buddy, Pope Jacquinot, came to see Sylvie and ended up living in Chicago for a long. Pope was able to secure a position in the office of Firehouse 51, where she concealed Stella Kidd's paycheck and then falsified the signature of the deputy district chief in order to move Kidd to the public relations department so that she could work there. Sylvie develops an even stronger attachment to the infant after Amber, the mother from season 11, episode 20, Never Ever Make a Mistake, places the child in the safe haven drop box at the firehouse. She then breaks the news to Violet that she is considering adopting the child. In the 22nd episode of season 11, titled Red Waterfall, a few of Sylvie's close friends, including Violet, Mouch, Stella Kidd, played by Miranda Ray Mayo, and Casey, who is in town for a task force he is on with Kidd, pay a visit to Amber in order to explain to her the reasons why she should select Sylvie to make the adoption decision. After the episode has progressed, Sylvie finds out that she will be allowed to adopt the baby, whom she decides to name Julia after the woman who gave birth to her. Casey makes his proposal to her on the same evening that he shows up at her door. Following Sylvie's decision to accept Casey's proposal, the couple comes to the conclusion that she will relocate to Portland shortly after the wedding. Casey is still raising the two sons of his previous firefighter while working for the Portland Fire Department. Casey is also a firefighter himself. Casey's status as their temporary guardian, in addition to the fact that their mother is incarcerated in the vicinity, requires the Darden boys to be in Oregon all the time. Sylvie appears in an interview to become a paramedic in Oregon, and in the 6th episode of the 12th season, titled Port in the Storm, she gets married to Matt Casey. This is the final episode that the character will appear in. Despite the fact that Kara Kilmer's exit was a creative one for the show, the actress has stated in a number of interviews that she believed the time was perfect, and that she enjoyed the way the writers chose to conclude Sylvie's journey. It's really cool that she begins her trip as a bride who was rejected. After her high school sweetheart in Fowlerton, Indiana, abandoned her at the altar, she relocates to Chicago in the hopes of beginning her life for the first time. And I adore the fact that she winds up marrying the man of her dreams and having everything that she has always desired, creating a family that is similar to a patchwork. I couldn't be happier for my own character. Kilmer stated in an interview with The Hollywood Reporter throughout the course of the conversation. Kilmer, who appeared in more than 200 episodes of the One Chicago franchise in total, got her start in a reality web series that was produced by Hulu and premiered in 2010. The series was called If I Can Dream. During the course of the show, which was developed by Simon Fuller, 5 aspiring artists were relocated to a house in Hollywood, and the show chronicled their journey as they attempted to find jobs in their chosen area. Among the roommates were individuals such as Justin Gaston, who competed in the 6th season of Nashville Star and was also the star of the music video for Taylor Swift's song Love Story, and Alex Lambert, who competed in the 9th season of American Idol. On the show that consisted of 32 episodes, Kilmer is widely considered to be the most successful of the former candidates. Now that her stint on Chicago Fire has come to an end, Kilmer has shown a desire in engaging in activities that are novel and distinct. In an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, she stated, "It is absolutely a privilege to have done 10 years on a Dick Wolf show." She went on to express her excitement about the various opportunities that lie ahead for her. In the same vein as the majority of the cast members who have left Chicago Fire, Kilmer has stated that she would be delighted to return her role at any time in the future. As is the case with the majority of the shows that are produced by Wolf Entertainment, Chicago Fire is scheduled to have 13 episodes in its 12th season. However, with the WGA and SAG-AFTRA strikes, the season was cut short. The departure of Sylvie Brett will result in the arrival of a new paramedic at Firehouse 51. However, there is currently no information available regarding the identity of the replacement paramedic. The 6th episode of Season 12 was titled Port in the Storm, and it included Violet's promotion to the position of paramedic in charge, Pi C. Additionally, the chief of the paramedics paid a visit to the firehouse to discuss Violet's new partner. The paramedic chief made it quite clear to Violet that her new partner will be assigned by the paramedic chief, and that she was not asking for Violet's opinion in the matter. This is despite the fact that Bowen normally wants to be engaged in the decisions that are made regarding who comes to his house. Either the new paramedic will be able to easily integrate into the team at Firehouse 51 and make a positive impact, or they will be able to shake things up. Only time will tell. At their wedding, Matt and Sylvie pushed Mouch to consider the possibility of taking on a leadership post before he retired. Mouch had already assured Sylvie that he would continue to oversee her paramedicine program throughout his retirement. There is a possibility that Mouch will assume some additional leadership responsibilities as a result of the paramedicine program. There are also a lot of changes taking place at the firehouse that have nothing to do with Sylvie. These changes include the relationship that Violet has with firefighter Sam Carver, Jake Lockett, and the question of whether or not firefighter Kylie Estevez, Caitlin Shennett, will return to Firehouse 51, where she worked in administration before she passed her firefighter's exam. Fans all across the world were glad to see Sylvie Brett's tale come to a satisfying conclusion, despite the fact that there is still a great deal of drama to store in the upcoming season of Chicago Fire. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe my fast gossip to our channel, and stay with us.